Hello, everybody. I think I just realised I forgot to mute my microphone then. But yes, okay. This is a little impromptu live stream. Hello to anyone that's watching, either live or watching it back. So we have just had the trailer drop for Legend of the Sea Devils, the Easter special of Doctor Who, the upcoming special. And yeah, it was good. I liked it. I liked it a lot. We're going to break it down in this live stream, shot by shot. Just going through everything, really. I'm assuming people watching this will have seen it. It only came out 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago. So it is very sort of, off the cuff and very recent and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, let's just break it down. Let's discuss it. I will just pull up the chat so I have everybody here in my line of sight. Please, if you are watching this live and you're enjoying it, please leave a like. And let me know in the chat what you thought of the trailer. And as we go through shot by shot, let me know as well, what theories you've got, what you think is happening, just all this sort of stuff. What you think of all this. So I will bring up the chat there. I've got my trailer over here. We've got the very first shots here. I'm not going to be playing the dialogue. I'm not going to be playing it at all. Or I might sort of play it in bits and pieces. I don't want to get copyright striked, but we'll go through it somehow. Obviously, so first of all, we have this shot of the Doctor, Yaz, and Dan looking fantastic in their new outfits. I love their outfits so much. I really like the Doctors. I think it's really striking, this new thing they've got going on. Just obviously a one-off for this story. It goes for all three of them. But I really like it. I think it looks really cool and just really makes it look very epic and all this sort of stuff. And then Yaz and Dan, obviously. I mean, Dan, we'll get onto this as we move through the trailer, but it is great to see him, in his pirate gear, like a fancy dress outfit with his eye patch and hat and stuff. And yeah, as ever, looks great. So, I mean, we had that and we had the shot, from the first trailer. Once again, the Doctor's saying Sea Devil. I'll put on the subtitles so we can see what's going on best we can. So we had that. And then we had this. So this, I was not quite expecting this. This looks amazing. So it's the TARDIS, like at the bottom of the sea or something, isn't it? Which is really cool. Really, really, really cool. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I just hadn't quite twigged that, the TARDIS will be going underneath the sea as well as, on land, because all the stuff we'd seen prior to this point was sort of set, like on the beaches or on the ships or whatever. So yeah, it looks like at some point they're going to land down there and maybe go and negotiate with the Sea Devils or something. A lovely shot. Love it. I love the colours and just everything. A little fish swimming around. It looks really, really cool. So we had that. And then what do we have after that? Oh yeah, so this. So again, we got quite a few of these sorts of shots where it's like the spaceship, the pirate ship in the sea. And this one in particular is very interesting and exciting because we've got this creature sort of swimming along here in the foreground, which is incredibly exciting because it's probably the Merker. Now, if no one knows what I'm talking about there, the Merker was this thing which was in the previous Sea Devil story, 38 years ago, Warriors of the Deep. An infamous Doctor Who monster. The costume wasn't great and wasn't utilised particularly well, but it was basically like this big dragon-y sort of sea creature-y sort of thing, which was in that story and controlled by the Sea Devils. And there's been speculation from fans, unfounded so far up to this point, but now, because we've got a few shots in this trailer which sort of seemed to sort of suggest some sort of big sea monster, that would seem to confirm that the Merker is back, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool indeed. So we will get onto that because there are a couple more shots, I think, but this is one of the main ones and one of the first ones and one of the ones that that made me gasp. Let me just check quickly what's going on in the chat. We've got 28 people watching live, which is fantastic. If you are enjoying this, please leave a like and let me know what you thought of the trailer in the chats. So we have got some thoughts and opinions. Let's have a look. Will Newlands, hello Will, my one and only channel member. Will says, well, Will didn't like the CGI by the sounds of it, and not the trailer as well, which is, I'm sorry for you, Will, but I felt differently about it, so there we go. And I think the CGI is actually pretty decent in this trailer, you know. We'll get onto it, but I think, it's ambitious, yeah, and they're sort of laying themselves open, I suppose, for things looking a bit ropey maybe, but I thought on the whole it looked pretty damn convincing, and this is, you know, they're doing some shots here, like of the spaceship, I keep saying spaceship, of the pirate ship in the sea and all this stuff with the seas and the skies and stuff. It's quite ambitious and quite different for Doctor Who. So they are stretching the boat out there, literally, and sort of going an extra mile. So, yeah, I don't agree with that. I'm sorry with you, Will, but I don't agree with that. But yeah, we've got some chat. We've got some people saying hello. And some chat about the Merca. I think I've had a request to show the Merca, the original Merca. So let's bring up the original Merca, just for anyone that hasn't already seen what the Merca looks like in the past. Let's just do this. Google Images. So Merca. Here we go. 10 cringeworthy Doctor Who moments. Yeah, it's not Doctor Who's finest hour. It gets a bit of flack, you know. I mean, I don't think it's quite as bad as people make it out to be, but you know, it is just this big sea creature thing, which I think the idea behind it and the intention and intent was good, but you know, it just didn't quite come across on screen for various reasons. But yeah, as people are saying, if we're now going to get a sort of bigger budget, better version of the Merca, it's going to be that U-turn there, and we're going to get a better version of it. That is incredibly exciting, and it's one of a few things. I mean, I think what's great about this special, just as a whole, really. Just a second. What I think is great about it as a whole is because we've got the Sea Devils coming back, biggest sort of old monster returning, you know, for the first time we've had in years, really. I mean, you know, aside from like the Mondasian Cybermen and the Zygons and the Great Intelligence, we've had nothing really in the in the past decade apart from that, and obviously this as well now. But what I think's really nice is that, you know, because we've got that and we've got the Merca maybe as well. I think it's just really nice that we've got those classic Who elements in this story, and you know, because it's also Jodie's penultimate story, it's like bringing those two eras together. You know, bringing the classic fans in. You know, they've got the hook of the Sea Devils and the Merca and stuff, presumably, and then we've got the hook for the current era fans as well. So it's this lovely mesh. I feel like, well, in theory, of the new and classic fans. It's got something for everyone, this story, which I think is really nice. Because obviously it's a big monumental story in its own right, being Jodie's penultimate one. But yeah, I just think that's really great. We have got some people in the chat. I'll do some quick shout outs to people in the chats. Hello to Dr. Master, 2 Million Like Head, of course, regulars on these streams. We have Woodward, Time Suvian, Draw with Cameron Smith, Chris Cagle, Duncan Shaw, The Unlimited Spider-Man, Julio Finihero. Apologies if I butchered that. King of Prior 1, Official, hello. Joshua James Woodhouse, Patrick Welsh, J.A. Shaggy Rogers, Thal J, The Unlimited Spider-Man, Jamie, Faulty Tires, Reese, Stocksy Productions, Luca, Jeremy Duncan, I might bring some of these out twice, apologies. Nathan Smurth, Waits, Taylor's Vision, Miles, hello. Locker 535, The Timeless Whovian, Charlie Wheeler. Great. Better stop that now before I read out too many names. But yes, it's great to have you all watching. Let's move on to some more shots from the trailer. So Dan on the ship, love it. I love it. I think there was I mentioned in the chat from someone, I can't remember who it was, I was glancing at it. Someone was saying, oh, they've turned Dan into a bit of a joke. I mean, yeah, they have, but we love to see it, to be honest. I'm not complaining, personally. It's just nice to have him there looking ridiculous in his pirate outfit. It's great. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So what have we got next? Oh, yeah, I mean, this is what I mean, really. No, I mean, these are quite ambitious shots for Doctor Who, and fair enough, I suppose, if you don't like the look of them, but I personally thought, from watching this trailer once or twice through for the first time, I thought the CGI came across pretty damn well. So this is obviously... Well, it's an interesting one, because we see a number of pirate ships throughout the trailer, and I'm not sure how many there are in total in the episode, whether there's like one for the human characters, one for the Sea Devils. What's interesting about this one is it's got those little bits, like the prodding off on the bottom, little lights, little blue bits, which would seem to suggest something, alien or whatever, or something which has been modified or altered or augmented in some way, perhaps. There is some interesting stuff in this beauty over here, Doctor Who magazine, the most recent issue. Fantastic coverage of the special in here, so I do recommend it if you haven't picked it up. But there's some interesting stuff in there which would seem to suggest to me that we might be moving between different time zones, because I believe the whole premise of the pirates and of the episode and stuff is based around this thing called the Fleur de la Mar. Let's look it up. Let's find it. It's a real life thing. The Flower of the Sea, I think it translates as, and it was this ship that went missing or shipwrecked or whatever, sunk to the bottom of the sea, presumed so, but has never been found. It was mentioned by the Doctor right at the end of Eve of the Daleks as like a lead into this story. But this was something you see from the 16th century. And our story is set in the 18th or 19th, I think, 18th century, something like that. And there's also something weird, because in one of those interviews as well in Doctor Who magazine, I think it mentions how, like, one of these characters, let's just find the one I'm talking about, Legend of the Sea Devils. Where's he gone? Not that guy. Oh, crikey, where's he gone? Let's find the official images on Black Archive. Oh, hang on, it's not going to work for me. Oh, there we go. Legend of the Sea Devils. Yeah, so in an interview in Doctor Who magazine, there's a line about this character who is called... what's he called? Help. What is he called? Ji-hun. And it mentions how he's also a pirate, I think. So you've got two pirates in the episode, Madam Ching, the female one, and then this guy as well. Madam Ching, of course, is a real-life historical figure. This guy's a fictional one. But it mentions how she's like a 18th century pirate, and this guy's like a 16th or 17th century pirate. So that was a very long-winded tangent, but basically what I'm trying to say is that, I don't know whether we're going to be moving between time zones here, whether we're going to be sort of literally going back in time a few hundred years to, when this ship went missing, or whether the characters who were alive when missing are sort of transposed into the future, something like that maybe? I don't know. But let's move on anyway. We had that funky-looking augmented ship, presumably. Presumably that was the Fleur de la Mar, this real-life ship, which has maybe like been taken over by Sea Devils or something. I don't know. Maybe something along those lines. But we've got 40 people watching, which is great. If you are enjoying, please do leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. That'd be great. Thank you. But anyway, yes, that's impossible for the Doctor. I just love how these costumes look, particularly the Doctor's there. I think it looks so striking. So great, love it. And again, there's loads of insights about the thinking that went into it in Ray Holman's interview in Doctor Who magazine, so do go and check that out. Lots of pauses in this trailer, little moments of like cutting to black and stuff. Oh yeah, here we have Madam Ching, the real life pirate, and we've got this little moment that the 13th Doctor has with quite a few of the sort of historical celebrities she meets, like whether Rosa Parks or Mary Seacole or whatever, where she's like, Madam Ching? I Oh my god. Or like with she did it as well with what's his name, the Mad Mole of Edge Hill. She did it with him as well. So there she is, played by Crystal. What's she called? Crystal Yu. Crystal Yu. Again, a lot of the main cast get interviewed in Doctor Who magazine, and they have some really interesting stuff to say. So yeah, I mean, this is the thing, you see, because I don't know which is this meant to be like the missing ship, or because is that like another ship in the background with the blue bit behind the Doctor and Yaz. Maybe, I don't know. And then we've got that shot as well of Dan there as well, and that other character on the right. He's like the final main character, I think, and he is called. Let's check Doctor Who magazine. He is called. What is he called? He is called Ying Ki, I think. It's like Ying and then Kei. Ying Kai, Ying Ki, something like that. So yeah, maybe what happens is like that all the characters from, is it 18th or 19th century? I better just check actually. Is it 18th or 19th century, the setting of this story? La-di-da-di-da. Hold on, I'll find the bit I'm looking for. 19th century, so 1800s. So maybe what happens is that the characters from the 19th century go and find the Fleur de la Mar, the shipwreck somehow, or travel back in time or something, and encounter this dude, Jing Yu, as he called, or something like that, who is like asking why the crew are. So maybe he was like in charge of the Fleur de la Mar or something like that. I don't know really. Yeah, and again, I mean, just back to that shot. I love the CGI. I don't get what the problem is with it. Some people have with the CGI here. I think, I mean, yeah, it's ambitious, but it pulls off. I think, and if the whole episode can be as good as this, then yeah, it'll be fantastic. I mean, I love shots like this. You know, we got the interior of the TARDIS, and then another environment around the TARDIS. Love it. I mean, stuff like this as well. I mean, it looks great. It looks so cool. It looks like something out of a video game or something, you know, which is really cool. So, and yeah, as well, actually, interesting, on the right-hand side over there, people may recall that there were some like leaked filming photos from the press and stuff when this was being filmed last summer. And that was like at a beach in Cardiff, because obviously they couldn't go abroad for this because of COVID. So that has like been CGI'd or like painted in to this wider CG environment, I think, over there in the right hand corner. I love the text as well, like whatever it is, swashbuckle your seatbelts or something. I love it. I love the way that works. It feels very epic and very like a proper sort of movie or television film or whatever. I love it. Love it. Hold on, I'm just going to move. There we go. Yeah. So, what else have we got? Yeah, did you dress Dan as a pirate or whatever it was? The auto caption subtitles don't quite capture the line, but I think that's what it was. Yeah, so this is clearly from that location filming, I think, on that beach, wherever it was. Like, I don't know, it wasn't Barry Island, but it was somewhere along that stretch of South Wales coast. I mean, how can you complain about that? You know, Dan in a hat and a eye patch. It's great. It's great. Love it. And then again, you know, another one of these shots of the ship at sea. I just think it looks great. I really do. It's so exciting, and obviously as well, it's not all CG because they actually built the sets for at least one of these ships. I mean, we don't know how many ships there are in the episode or how many ships they actually built, but definitely at least one sort of big full pirate ship they built in the studio and filmed on. and we get glimpses of that in this trailer, obviously. But I think to see that in action will be something really special. I mean, it definitely feels like, you know, from reading interviews and stuff, and from seeing stuff, it feels like all of the sort of art departments and costume departments and set departments are all sort of firing on all cylinders, really, for this story, which is really exciting. Oh yeah, and then this bit, so again, the subtitles haven't quite captured it, but I think, wasn't Yaz saying something like, oh, you act like a child sometimes, or something? And the Doctor's like, thanks. Because there are one or two moments like that in the trailer, so like that bit, and then this bit as well before, where when I was watching it for the first time, I was like, oh, it's going to be like a moment of tension between Yaz and the Doctor. But obviously it isn't. But that's not to say that we won't get that in the special, of course. And then yet another awesome looking shot of one of these ships at sea. I love it. I think it looks so cool. It's so different, isn't it, from a lot of other Doctor Who. And also we've had pirates on Doctor Who before, but the scale of this feels properly epic and like properly going on a proper voyage across the seas, which is very exciting. Another shots. I mean, that's the one that seems to have these bits on the bottom. I mean, maybe it's something like this is like a real pirate ship, but the Sea Devils have like swam up to the surface and stuck these things on the bottom of the ship so they can like track it or something, maybe. Unbeknownst to the people on board, perhaps. Perhaps that's it. Say hello to my crew. Love that. Doctor and an extended fam. A little glimpse there of like one of the stunty bits, isn't it? I don't know what's happening here. Oh yeah, clearly then. So yeah, I think it's Doctor and Yaz there, and they're like sort of using the ropes to like fly over onto the other ship. So presumably this is the point like where they sort of they land on the beach at the start of the story. They go with Madam Ching onto her ship, presumably. They find this ship, and then they go over onto that ship and meet the other guy, like Jihan, I think it was called, and stuff ensues from there, really, I guess. But yeah, that would seem to suggest then that the Doctor and company are on the ship with those funny little blue things on it. So not quite sure what that's about, but there we go. And yeah, this was interesting, this bit, because it like reminded me of the Flux and stuff, because I think the line is the world has been disrupted or something. So we get this shot of Madam Ching looking up into the heavens, the firmament, and then a shot, you know, of the skies above them. Has that something happened to the fabric of space and time or something? I don't know. Something like that, maybe. Who knows? I've neglected the chat recently. I'm just going to take a quick look at the chat, see what people are saying. In fact, what I might do is sort of, I might look back through the chat once we've finished, and then we can do some like general theories and stuff on this episode, which would be great. So yeah, let's move on. Oh yes, the world's been disrupted because of you. So well, crikey, we'll get onto that in just a moment. But yeah, there's this implication that obviously Madam Ching is the one that has like set the Sea Devils free, I think, by accident, just as part of her voyages. You know, she somehow stumbled across something and pressed the wrong button or something, and let those Sea Devils out of the sea, out of the ground, and unleashed this terrible force that is the Sea Devils. And speak of the devils, quite literally, here they are. So I know we got that shot of like the leader right at the start of the trailer, but this, well, obviously because that shot was a reused shot from the teaser trailer. This is the first sort of new shot of the Sea Devils in the trailer, or indeed, you know, ever for this story that we've seen so far. And it's also the first shot to have multiple Sea Devils together. So there's like 3 or 4 of them there in the background, 5 maybe, with the leader there in the foreground. I read in here as well that they made, I think, 7 or 8 Sea Devil masks, plus the leader, I think. So there's literally like, what, 8 or 9 Sea Devils in total? It's a big number. And it's because, I mean, the reason they could do that is because it's not like a prosthetic where it's stuck to different parts of the face and loads of different pieces where it like moves with the face. It just literally is apparently like a put-on mask that you put on, and the actor like sees out through the neck or something, and then the Sea Devil head's on top. But yeah, I mean, if that's the way to do it, then absolutely go for it, because it's so great to have them all, you know, together. And clearly they are sort of on board sort of one of the ships here, I guess. I do hope, because we've had talk of the Sea Devils in this story being pirates, like Sea Devil pirates, which is fantastic. Love it. New spell on Sea Devils. What's not to love? I do hope though that we can, you know, somewhere in the story there is an opportunity to like recreate that iconic shot of them rising from the water. You know, somehow. It's got to be in there somehow, hasn't it? It's got to be in there. Because in terms of locations, I think we've got like a Chinese village. I mean, presumably that's where the TARDIS lands, and like the beach and stuff. And then we've got all this stuff out at sea, on the ships, and then of course at some point we go underwater as well, which will be funky. But yeah, I mean, they look so good. They look so good. I mean, obviously they look a bit naff, just in the sense of like, you know, any Doctor Who monster looks a bit ridiculous, shall we say? Like if you sort of stop and look at it, it does look like a big sort of big silly face or whatever. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks so cool, so cool, so menacing and so great. So glad to have them back. Love it. So what do we have there? Like hang on, there. Is that like another sort of Mercury shot of the Merker larking about in the water or something, maybe? I'm guessing that's what that bit was. We can't really see properly, can we? I mean, yes, I love it. I love it so much. So we had heard there were going to be some sword fighting in this story. So here, obviously, we have Yaz versus Sea Devil, and it looks so cool. I mean, one thought I did have the other day actually is that it's a bit of a shame that the Sea Devils presumably aren't going to have their little heat ray devices that they had obviously in their first appearance. But obviously they sort of did that with the new Silurians, like with the ends of their guns. So I guess they didn't want to reuse that. And obviously these Sea Devils are pirates. They have swords. So I'm guessing the swords have like replaced the heat rays and stuff as like their predominant number one weapon. But yeah, very exciting. Love it. Yeah, and then again, so what is going on with this ship? By the way, as well, if you hadn't noticed, obviously we've got little Sea Devils like climbing up the side of the ship here, which I love. Again, fantastic. I mean, the scale of this looks like literally the literal scale, and just generally as well. I mean, metaphorically, looks so epic. Like, you know, look how tiny they are in comparison to this massive ship. They're really sort of stretching the budget out here and going all for it. In fact, actually, I'm just realising as well, because we've got another ship in the background there. So is this ship in the foreground like flying or something? Maybe these little attachments on the bottom allow it to fly. Maybe something like that. That could explain it, perhaps. Because, yeah, the ship in the background looks to be in the sea. And if this ship was in the sea, that wouldn't make any sense, because we wouldn't be able to see underneath it. So, yeah, I'm guessing that's the thing. Like, it's a flying pirate ship, I suppose. Yeah, interesting. I've just noticed as well, I mean, it's probably nothing, but the sort of the bigger blue bits, where it's like these angular shapes and stuff, looks a little bit like the stasis chambers that the Stenza used, like Tim Shaw, the things he was trapped inside, and like the things they trapped the planets inside in Battle of Ranskar of Kolos. It's probably not that, but they do look a bit similar, so who knows? Who knows? And then, yeah, I mean, this was the other sort of main new shot we got of a Sea Devil in this trailer. I mean, It just looks so nice, so cool, so amazing. And I think, what does he say, like, this is our time or something? That's the line. Fantastic. Madam Ching, Dan, and what was his name? Ying Ki or something, I think, on the left there. Man the cannons. We've got cannons. This is so exciting. They are going all out, all out on this. The ship is going down. So what's this here? This green thing, is that... Do we think that's like part of the sea creature's body? Or like tail or something? Or like a swirl of water that's like been left in its path, like it's disappeared, maybe? Like, I don't know. The docks are running, presumably from sea level. More sword fighting. A TARDIS shot there, that's interesting. So we got... Is that Madam Ching there on the left? We've got Yaz and Dan on the right. It's good to know that we're going to be getting some TARDIS action in this story, because obviously the Daleks didn't have a whole lot of the TARDIS interior in it for obvious reasons. So great that they've found a way to put it into this story, presumably. Just looking at the chat, a water tornado, that sounds likely. Yeah, that sounds likely. So a few shots there in quick succession, so let's just pause. So we got Madam Ching. Yeah, so this just confirmed, doesn't it? Yeah, so we've got two pirate ships, and one of them is flying. Yeah. So presumably this one in the foreground is the shipwreck, the Fleur de la Mar, with all the derelict flags and stuff and rags, and yeah, it's flying quite clearly. It's not in the water, is it? So clearly that's going to be a part of it somehow. This ship that went missing in the 15th or 16th century or whatever. And then it sort of comes back in the 19th century with these bits on it, and it can fly somehow. And maybe that's down to the Sea Devils, or maybe it's not, Oh, crikey, okay. And also just on that shot as well, presumably the ship in the background, that one with the red flags, or mast, whatever they're called. And the mast is the thing they're on, isn't it? The red flags, I think. That is presumably Madam Ching's ship. So we had another Yaz sword fighting shot. We have this. This is one that went over my head a bit when I watched this for the first time, and even the second as well, actually. So, I mean, yeah, this would seem to be the sort of the head, the face, the mouth of this sea creature, which is maybe the Merca reincarnated, or something similar. Because, yeah, I guess they could just have a sea creature thing and leave it a bit ambiguous as to whether it's the Merca or not. I don't know. I would hope they name it on screen. But anyway, yeah, it's got a load of eyes, a load of teeth, and the TARDIS is going straight down its mouth. Lovely. So, don't know what that's about, but there we go. I mean, that's probably our best look at the ship decks so far, I think, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I think there was like a leaked photo of this that went round a while back and was very quickly disappeared off the internet. But yeah, it does look very, very cool, very well detailed. And again, I was reading in here that I think basically the implication is from Chris Chibnall that sort of they were able to splash out on this episode in terms of the budget and stuff and the sets and stuff, sort of because Eve of the Daleks was so self-contained and so low budget, compared to this, just fewer locations, basically like one main location and fewer sets and stuff. And it's an approach that I'm all here for if we end up with stuff like this. But yeah, so we had that shot. So yeah, I mean, we've had sort of promo pics as well and things of characters looking up, into the skies or whatever. I think it's safe to say that they are looking at this sea creature, which is maybe the Merca, sort of lashing down at them or towards them or whatever. So little sword fighting Sea Devil there. Oops. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, we go. Yeah. What have we got? We've got. Oh yeah. Okay, that's it. We've got the Doctor Who logo and stuff, Legend of the Sea Devils, and then this promo art there in the background, which we'll perhaps also just take a closer look at if I can find it. I will just take a look. But yeah, now that we've finished going through the trailer, let's. Well, I'll read through the chat. We'll go back through the chats and just think about some general theories and stuff for this story and sort of what we think is going to happen. Let me just pull up the poster if I can find it. Hold on. It's on the official website, maybe. Where's it gone? Hold on a minute. Just trying to find this this poster. Yeah, here we go. I think it's on here somewhere. Oh wow, there's some new. Okay, there's some new photos as well, like promo pics. So let's just pull this up. Yeah, here we go. So this is the new poster art, which yeah, I think a lot of people were sort of expecting something like this because obviously we had it for the previous specials and Eve of the Daleks and stuff. So it's lovely to see that it's here we go. Yeah, we've had the same approach here. Lots of stuff to love here. So we've got that shipwreck there in the middle, haven't we? Then all these characters, Dr. Yazdan, Jing Han, I think he was called, Madam Ching, and then a load of Sea Devils down here on the bottom. They just look so cool, don't they? They look so good. Little squad of Sea Devils. I love it. We will take a look at the other pictures in just a moment, but let's go back through the chat, see what people have been saying. Yeah, Patrick Welsh says, can't wait to see the Sea Devil captain wearing the pirate hats. Yes, absolutely. I was going to go through the chat backwards, but I don't think that's going to work actually. So let's just look back at what people are saying. Dr. Master says, Richard Lloyd, what Easter egg are you most excited to receive this year? Look, I think obviously Easter eggs are very exciting, but I think this is the main event, for Easter this year. This is the main event. I've got some chat about the Merca, some chat about Dan. Yeah, Miles is saying how insane it is how they've managed to produce this under all the COVID restrictions. All shot in Cardiff, and you wouldn't think twice. Absolutely. It looks great. It looks so good to say, we had COVID, we had all shot in this country, no abroad shoots, whatever. It just looked fantastic. But yeah, we've got a few comments from people wondering, I think, whether this feels monumental enough to be Jodie's penultimate story. A few people are sort of intimating that from what I can see. Yeah. Still think it's a crime that Jodie's new costume wasn't an option for the Doctor Who magazine poster. Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? It's a shame. What have we got there? Swashbuckling, sorry. Yeah. Okay then. Well, I'm not going to be able to catch up with the chat fully. am I? So just repeat the message if you have something interesting to say, and I'll read it out now. Yeah, I've got a theory there then from Patrick Welsh. So Patrick says, I think the Sea Devils pulled down the 16th century ship into the water and then lived in it, and Madam Ching found it, and awoke them from their sleep. Yeah, something like that sounds. Something like that sounds pretty likely, I think, isn't it? Bill Squeak says, it looks like there is space in the middle of that poster for another person. Spoilers? Question mark. Yeah. We will discuss the rumours about that in just a moment. Yeah, that's something else to discuss. Yeah, Wes looking forward to it. Will says that the Sea Devils are a cool villain, and it looks like the story will be breaking the mould of having Sylar and Sea Devil stories which have roughly similar plots. Yeah, absolutely. I guess there will still be an element of that sort of the thing about the negotiations between the humans and the Sea Devils or Silurians or whatever. I'm guessing that will still come into it somehow. But even so, yeah, it is doing something very different, with Sea Devil pirates and all that sort of stuff and swashbuckling. Duncan Shaw says, how about Sea Devils making humans walk the plank? That would be a laugh riot. It certainly would. That would be great. Yeah, I love it. So, I guess, yeah, people watching, if you're still watching live, number one, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, that'd be great. Number two, if you are by any chance new here, please subscribe for more videos like this. I've just released one actually today about the Dalek check It's like a thing where we look at which Doctor had the most Dalek stories. So check that out if you like. In fact, I've just realised as well, I left a space in the video description for the trailer. So I need to update that now that the trailer's actually been released. So let's just copy and paste that in. And what was I going to say? Oh yeah, if anyone wants to do a super chat or anything like that, so that's obviously very encouraged, but by no means obligatory. And I think that was everything I was going to say. And yeah, please put your thoughts, opinions and theories into the chat, and we will discuss them now, just in the second half of the stream, really. So yeah, let's take a look at these other photos that have just appeared. Dan, with his eye patch on and his hat on the beach in the TARDIS. Oh yes, this is interesting as well. So I was reading. Let's pull this up. Johnny Brown is in the comments of this post on Facebook. Oh, put the Sonic away. Sick of seeing it now. I think people are a bit harsh about the Sonic Screwdriver personally, but there we go. So I don't mind it myself. So yeah, this is interesting because. Well, obviously, it looks like the moment where the Doctor and co come across Madam Ching for the first time. But in Doctor Who magazine, they were saying how the Chinese village for this story was actually shot like on a Welsh farm in Wales or Cardiff somewhere. And yeah, I guess you can sort of tell that that's like a sort of country, like an English country barn or something in the background there. But there we go. Interesting stuff. And then what else have we got? We have got... Oh my gosh. What an amazing photo. That is so cool. I love it. I love it. He looks so amazing. Let's just find his name, actually. This guy, because he has got a name. Played, of course, by Craig Ells, who played Carvanista. He's playing the sort of leader Sea Devil, and his name is Narcissus, I think. Narcissus, yeah. It's got 4 S's in it, which I suppose makes sense because he's a Sea Devil. There is a fantastic image of him, actually. I won't reveal the whole thing, but in Doctor Who magazine, there's this fantastic image of this guy. Really, really cool. So another reason to pick this up. But yeah, and obviously that one on the front as well, the sort of the warrior one. Very, very exciting. Is that it for the new images? One more of. So was he? Double check the names. It was Ji-hun on the left and Madam Ching, on the right. Let's get that in there, locked in. And now back to the start. Yes, let's leave that one up because that's my favourite. I love it. And let's see what people are saying in the chat. Let's see what people are thinking about this story. And yes, we will discuss various other bits and pieces as well. So Adam the Ultimate Huvin has liked. Start again. Adam the Ultimate Huvin has smashed the like button. Thank you very much, Adam. Great to have you here. Draw with Karen Smith has watched my Dalek video. Thank you for the kind words there. So yeah, Future's End is saying how Dan's stripy waistcoat thing. Let's find it again. Was actually made from a pair of period curtains that Ray Holman had lying about or something, and he just wanted to use them for something. The costume designer wanted to use them for something, and then this came up and it was like, yeah, perfect. Very, very, very fun. But yeah, keep the thoughts coming. If anyone has any other theories or thoughts, one thing that hold on, Spectator Productions says rewatched this several times and still not sold on the voice of the Sea Devils. Oh, interesting. I can't say I've sort of dissected that particular part of it too much myself yet. I mean, we got like one line, I think, didn't we, or maybe two? So it's not a lot to go off, but fair enough, if it's not working for you yet. It'll be interesting because I don't think we quite know who's doing the voice yet. I presume it's Nicholas Briggs, but I don't think it's been confirmed. So, we'll see about the voice. But yeah, someone was saying in the chat that they wondered whether they were deliberately leaving a space in this poster for another character to be added at a later date. So this is, of course, an allusion to the theory that's been going around for ages that the Master is going to crop up in this story, like halfway through or something, as a lead-in to his appearance in the Centenary Special. Now, I would be down for it. I think, I kind of thought it was maybe likely before watching this, but then after having now watched the trailer and having seen this promo image, I just think there's something about the vibe we're getting from this episode, from the trailer and from the stuff, promotional stuff, that it does suggest to me that maybe that's not actually going to happen. The jury is set, I think, for me on that. Like I say, before the trailer came out, I think I was a bit more sort of, maybe the Master's in it. But now, having seen the trailer and having seen the promo images and stuff, I do think, he's probably not in it, to be honest. Especially if we've got the Merker in it as well, because that's like, sort of secondary monster or baddie, And obviously we've got the Sea Devil leader, so he's enough of a villain in his own right. We don't need the Master to prop up the Sea Devil, so of course it would be nice to see that once again, like we did in the very first Sea Devil story. But yeah, I don't know. I just get the feeling. I mean, maybe he could turn up in the final 5 minutes for a cliffhanger or something. I wouldn't say no to that. And I think he will definitely be in whatever teaser trailer they show after this story for the Centenary Special. So either way, I think we will be seeing the Master on Easter Sunday. But it might just literally be for one shot in the trailer or something, for the next episode. That's my thoughts on it, I think. I don't think people should get their hopes up for Master being in it, because it's it's a dangerous game to play that. I mean, how standalone is it going to be? Is there going to be some sort of lead-in or tie-in to the Centenary Special? There have been various interview quotes, I think, like from the director of this story, Hailo Wang, or Wong, I believe she's called, who, again, she has an interview in Doctor Magazine, and she sounds very enthusiastic. But she was sort of saying that it's like a last chance for the Doctor and her companions to have some fun before things get serious for the regeneration story. Which would suggest that it's going to be fairly standalone, right? You know? So, but I don't know. I guess we just need to go into it without expecting it to be more than that, and then anything that may or may not crop up as a bonus. But yeah, it's some kind of hint towards what's going to happen in the Centenary would be nice, I think. That'd be nice. Will Murphy says, how much longer is this stream going on for? We will wrap this up within the next 5 or 10 minutes. We've been going, well, we will have been going for an hour by then, so it'll just be a short hour one. Yeah, okay, so Spectator Productions is saying, I don't think it is Nick that's doing the Sea Devil voices, because he's done them on audio before and has knocked it out the park. Very interesting. I can't say I've heard that myself, but yeah, interesting. I mean, I suppose it could just be Craig Ells who's playing that Sea Devil leader. I guess it could be him doing the voice, because obviously he did the voice for Carvanista, so I guess it's possible, maybe, like modulated or something. Yeah, Patrick says that he's not quite sold that the Master will appear any earlier than the last 5 minutes. I think that's about right, to be honest, if anything at all, I mean, like I say, I'm expecting to see him in the trailer for the Centenary, but not before that. And then if he does appear before that, that'll be a bonus, But yeah, there we go. So I think we will wind this down now, unless anyone has any final last minute thoughts, opinions, theories and stuff on this trailer. I mean, just to reiterate my thoughts on it. Very excited for it. It feels like they really have gone all out, like in every regard for this story. It feels very large scale, very epic. Really looking forward to it. I think it should be a really great hour or whatever of good fun Doctor Who. Good Easter holiday, Easter Sunday evening fun. And there's a big vehicle going past that side. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. And obviously, it is fantastic to have the Sea Devils back with us. And yeah, just to reiterate what I was saying at the start of the stream, I think it's really lovely how we have the, because, there are some people that haven't been on board with this era so much. Like classic fans who haven't been on board with it as much, I guess you could say. And what I think is really lovely is that hopefully this should really unite all fans, because, we've got the Sea Devils back, which is a great hook for fans of the old series. And they look amazing. Like, even if you don't like this era, I don't think you can say that the Sea Devils look bad, because they don't. They look fantastic. So that's a great hook for those sorts of people. And then, fans of the current era and people that just watch it anyway, it just should really unite people, I think. And I think it's really lovely that they've managed to do that, for her penultimate story, for Jodie's penultimate story, to have something that should hopefully really unite people. Really, really great. So, let's wrap things up there. If anyone else has any thoughts on the trailer, either people that are watching live or people that are watching this back, please do put your thoughts in the chats or the comments or wherever. Your thoughts, opinions and theories on this story. Please do leave a like if you haven't already. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. And yes, I will see you again soon, I'm sure, for some other Doctor Who videos, whatever they may be. Legend of the Sea Devil stuff, or indeed other things as well. So thank you so much for watching and listening to me harp on for an hour about this trailer. And yeah, goodbye for now.